Guerrilla warfare during World War II was not limited to the European and Russian theaters. The indigenous populations of Southeast Asia, formed under British command, fought the Japanese on their home soil. From 1942 until the end of the war, a mixture of partisan fighters worked to disrupt supply lines, strike enemy headquarters, and attack enemy soldiers, tanks, and fortifications. They were known as Force 136. Warfighter World War II Expansion number 64 provides the soldiers, missions, objectives, and hostiles that engaged in many actions over the course of the war. The components for the expansion include 4-player, 3 non-player, and 3 squad soldiers, 5 weapon, 2 skill, and 2 event cards, 5 mission and 5 objective cards, 12 location cards, and 15 elite Japanese hostiles. The soldiers represent a conglomeration of the various indigenous peoples that fought the Japanese. From the Southeast Asian theater, which includes Burma, Malaya, Siam, and parts of China, the soldiers were trained to conduct guerrilla operations. The weapons they carried reflect the British suppliers in terms of rifles, pistols, and grenades. However, the parang is a long Malayan knife that was most often used as a machete but could be employed for hand-to-hand combat. The 2 skills represent what determined guerrilla fighters could do behind enemy lines. Dauntless allows for a soldier to conduct an attack without having to spend an action, while Pilfer, as the name suggests, allows the soldier 2 to 4 resource points worth of gear at the cost of 2 actions and a single experience point. The event cards reflect the brutal conditions, which starts with a tropical heat wave, which puts additional stress on the soldiers, along with mental exhaustion, which subtracts 2 from all environmental die rolls. The 5 missions run the gamut, which include raid and hostile missions, along with a hasty ambush that places each soldier in a foxhole, but also with a suppression counter. Twilight time and monsoon season provide some relief from the heat for the latter, but the former allows soldiers to advance at a greater pace. The objectives represent typical raiding targets, such as the Alexandra Hospital and Slim River Bridge. But there are 3 military targets, which include the headquarters, Labrador Battery, and Sleepy Valley, which contains a Japanese Type 97 tank. The locations represent the typical terrain and structures found in Southeast Asia. This includes natural areas such as the rice paddy, mangrove swamp, and waterlogged locations. But there are more military areas that include the trunk road, shallow trenches, and pillboxes. Add to that the civilian structures of the broken span and railway lines, but what's most interesting may be the chilling cemetery, where soldiers may pay 3 experience points to discard hostiles drawn for the location. All hostiles also gain disdain, which makes it more difficult for them to hit the soldiers. The Japanese hostiles represent a potpourri of forces that range from the harassing bicycle infantry to the more dangerous field garrison. But there is also the fire team and the Type 97 Chiho tank. While the latter is inadequate compared to standard British or U.S. tanks, it was quite formidable when going up against outmatched indigenous forces. Force 136 provides insight into the struggles of guerrilla forces in the Southeast Asian theater during World War II. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next Wednesday.